The fire we reported at the fire hall is still burning out.
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted from the daily burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday and Thursday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air.
A grace-filled Tuesday afternoon, friends, and welcome to Campus Ministers on Air, the official radio show of the Loyola School's Office of Campus Ministry, where we try to find God in anything and everything under the sun. So good afternoon, I am Martin Candelaria, the Campus Minister for Student Leaders and Organizations. At ngayong araw na ito, ngayong hapon, no, kasama ko ang dalawang masigasig na professional, no, from the Loyola Schools. No? Namely, Sir Cholo Mallilin from the Office of Student Services and Sir JC Capuno from the Office of the Associate Dean for Student Formation. Okay, so mamaya, I'll ask you, sirs, to introduce yourselves. Okay? Sige po. So, siguro po para sa ating mga viewers, no, alam po natin kung ano yung sigurong pag-uusapan natin ngayong hapon, no? Para naman sa ating mga tagapakinig, no, this afternoon, we're going to talk about toys, no? We're going to talk about toys, the joys of collecting toys, no? The joys of playing with toys. Okay? But before that, of course, no, as we always do, we begin our show with a prayer. And so we invite you, our dear listeners and viewers, to drop whatever you're doing now. Dispose yourselves. Okay. You may close your eyes if you wish, or if that would help you. Okay. And let us all remember that we are in the loving presence of our God. And so we pray in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. A prayer by Saint Anselm of Canterbury. O my God, teach my heart where and how to seek you, where and how to find you. You are my God, and you are my all, and I have never seen you. You have made me and remade me. You have bestowed on me all the good things I possess. Still, I do not know you.
I have not yet done that for which I was made. Teach me to seek you. I cannot seek you unless you teach me, or find you unless you show yourself to me.
Let me seek you in my desire. Let me desire you in my seeking. Let me find you by loving you. Let me love you when I find you.
Amen.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So we're back. No, magandang hapon po muli sa lahat. We're now live at Radyo Katipunan 87.9 with CM on Air or Campus Ministers on Air. At gaya nga po ng sinabi ko kanina, kasama ko po ngayong hapon si Sir Cholo Mallilin from the Office of Student Services and Sir JC Capuno from the Office of the Associate Dean for Student Formation.
Yeah.
Magandang hapon po, sir.
Good afternoon,
Magandang hapon
Martin.
sa lahat.
Okay,
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes, of course. It's our pleasure po, no? So sir, pakilala po muna kayo, no, sa ating mga viewers, listeners.
Ikaw na muna.
Hindi ko na yun.
Sige. So ako si Cholo Mallilin. If for those of you who are regular listeners of Radyo Katipunan, alam niyo na hindi ako stranger dito because I have
your
two
own
shows also.
Two shows.
Two shows ang meron ako sa Radyo Katipunan. Monday, atin yan from 2 to 3 at this time then. And on Thursdays, I have Himig Ateneo dito sa Radyo Katipunan also from 2 to 3 p.m. So I am currently the director for student services of the Loyola schools.
Alright, no? Sige, Sir Cholo, thank you very much.
Ako naman po si JC Capuno. I am again with the Office of the Associate Dean for Student Formation. I'm currently actually the assistant to the Associate Dean for Student Formation. And unlike Cholo, wala akong radio shows. I'm a listener. So it's my first time actually to
Ito na po yung simula, sir.
to be here or to guest anywhere. So
Ilo-launch namin
and
ang career mo
it's
today.
perfect that the topic is toys. So
Yes. No, gaya nga nung nabanggit na nga rin ni Sir JC at gaya siguro na nakikita nyo sa inyong Facebook live stream ngayon, no?
Yay!
We're going to talk about a very fun topic this afternoon, no? And that
Lalaro
is
tayo.
Yes, no, and that is none other than toys, no? And so si Sir Cholo at si Sir JC ay very passionate, if I may say, toy collectors, no? Toy
Yes.
collectors. So kindly walk us through, sir. I don't know the history of that, what the beginning of that. Apo.
So I don't know if you can see all of the stuff that we have here on the table. Kaya inaayos-ayos ko para kita sa camera natin. But,
Okay.
parang we brought an assortment of toys. Okay, so pag sinabi mo yung salitang toys, syempre yung nisip ng mga tao, mga laruan, pambata, di ba?
Yes.
Mga regalo, pag Pasko sa mga bata. Pero I know there are a lot of us out there who appreciate another aspect of these toys, which is parang as a collection, as part of a collection. So ako, I have been collecting toys since 1997. Naalala ko pa yung unang-unang collectible action figure na pinili ko back in 1997, which was a Star Wars action figure na at that time parang nagkaroon ng special edition yung original trilogy ng Star Wars. Tapos naglabasan ulit yung mga Star Wars toys. So parang these Star Wars, mga action figures ng Star Wars are really, what's the word? Parang ubiquitous for Star Wars collectors. And there are a lot of us na lahat kami nagsimula talaga as collectors of the Star Wars toys. No? So yung unang-unang figure na binili ko was a Luke Skywalker in X-Wing uniform. Yun, alala ko yun. Ay, hindi, sorry. Hindi pala X-Wing, Stormtrooper uniform. Di ba meron siyang time na nag-disguise siya as a Stormtrooper. Yun yung unang-una kong action figure. So yun, since 1997. And since then, my collection has grown. And maybe later I can tell you really parang what why is it important to me?
Okay.
Why I keep collecting these toys.
Yes.
Ikaw muna.
yun. Ako naman, I started collecting naman talaga as a kid. Pero ito yung mga laruan na rineregalo. Tulad na mention ni Cholo, di ba rineregalo sa'yo during Christmas? So I'd have a few figures here and there, linalaro ko and then napaglipasan, natago, ganun. But when did I really start collecting and kumbaga building up a collection? Kumbaga, yung nakikita nyo dito are the few pieces we could bring.
Just a few pieces?
Yan, nagsimula yan 2008 nung naging office mate ko siya. Ito yung BI ko.
Ako yung bad end.
Yeah, parang
Si Sir Cholo.
I had a few figures already and occasionally I would parang buy a figure that would catch my attention and then naging office mates kami ni Sir, may nakita akong Wolverine mug sa desk niya tapos parang may mahilig din sa Marvel stuff kasi Marvel primarily yung favorite collection ko. So I asked him what he collects. Tapos we had parang similar figures ganyan. Turns out this guy pala was one of the people who organizes the Philippine Toy Con. Okay, which he'll probably talk more about later. He started bringing me to those conventions. Syempre maraming sellers doon. Yan. So doon ako na parang started with a few figures I'd bring to the office actually. Back then I was still with ADSA. So nandun ako sa mga glass windows. Tapos meron akong few figures na nakalagay doon na nakikita ng students and people who pass by. Tapos at some point hindi ko lang napansin na dumami siya ng dumami.
Okay.
Na wala na akong office space. So inuwi ko siya. Yan, bumili ng cabinet. Cabinets are like, how I put it, parang real estate na laruan yun eh, no? Parang,
Tama, oo.
you buy a cabinet, there's more space to put in, you'll end up buying more figures.
Para
to
mapuno
put
yung
in
cabinet.
there.
Yung display
Yun.
cabinet.
And yun, it just grew. Siguro yung primary difference lang is, when I was a kid, hindi ako masyado bumibili ng laruan kasi nga ginigift sa akin. Hindi ko pa sa sariling pera eh. Pero nung when I started earning, working,
Yeah.
yun, parang that's when I started buying some of the figures even that I wanted to have when I was a kid. But which I think is a tendency of a lot of collectors, no? Binibili nila mga figures na gusto nila nung bata sila.
Right. So, yung interesting sa akin dun sa dalawang kwento nyo, sir, no, how it started with just one toy.
Yes.
And then it grew into a collection, di ba? Yung kay Sir Cholo, from the Star Wars figure that you first had. Tapos yung kay Sir JC naman, although you've had toys when you were growing up, pero you collected parang Marvel as you growing up. Tapos, yung sinabi ni Sir JC kanina, no, hindi na napansin, no, na dumami na pala yung collection. And for Sir Cholo, no, hindi lang collection yung dumami, no. You even organized this this convention called the Toy-Con. So tell us more about that, sir. Napaka-interesting nun.
Okay, wow. So just 2 weekends ago, we put on the 18th Toy Convention here in the Philippines. No? So we call it Toy-Con PH. So 18 years na kami since 2002, since we actually organized as communities of toy collectors. And there are a couple of us now, especially, na iba't ibang parang mga toy clubs as we call them. And now we assemble as one big community during this convention. So we've officially organized to call ourselves the Philippine Toy Groups Association. So there's actually an association of toy collectors, and we are sort of organized now. So there are collectors of Star Wars toys, Marvel toys, DC, merong mga Funko Pop collectors, merong mga collectors ng mga Japanese toys,
Right.
diba? Mga dolls, Tapos just etong year we launched new groups. Merong collectors ng mga dinosaur toys, merong collectors ng mga toys gawa sa paper, mga ganyan. So maraming mga community, maraming mga toy clubs. Back in 2002 when we started it out in a very small function room in Mega Mall, and it was really just parang more of a buy and sell event na parang people at that time back in 2002 parang we're already sort of medyo pop culture aware. So parang mahilig na kaming lahat mag-collect ng comics. Like ako, growing up as a kid, I was already collecting comic books or trading cards of our favorite childhood properties, which are mostly the superhero properties, diba? Sina Superman, Batman, the Marvel, Avengers, Captain America, ganyan.
Right.
And that comic book collection slowly grew into other collections until finally, yun nga, in the late 90s, nagkaroon ng boom yung toy industry when parang the action figure market found a niche of collectors na parang hindi lang yung comic books ang kinokolekta pero pati yung 3D renditions ng mga characters. So doon medyo gumanda yung quality ng mga action figures until so they started off as very small, mga 4-inch action figures, tas medyo lumaki, naging 6 inches na. Ayan, katulad nitong si Batman saka Superman here.
Hey, show
these are
and tell
actually
po ito.
these are actually not action figures per se kasi walang moving parts ito eh. So these are statues, parang mini statues. And then around the mid 2010s, nauso yung mga parang mga art, what do you call this?
Cartoonized, parang ganyan.
Mga they call it now as sculptured art pieces. Itong mga Funko Pops, ayan, katulad nito. This is a very special piece for me kasi this is the Darna Funko Pop which has not yet been produced. This is actually a pop customized action figure.
Oh.
Pero sa sobrang kasikatan ni Darna, magkakaroon na ng license na Darna Funko Pop coming soon. Actually, by next month, August, they will be launching the official Darna Funko Pop, which is the licensed by Funko USA ito.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a big deal for the Funko collectors. So ito, these are figures called mugs, Mighty Mugs. Itong mga
din
maliliit
actually.
na Avengers.
Yeah,
Ayan,
this one is
that's
too.
also a mug.
Mighty Mugs, MUGGS. So nauso yung mga parang cartoonized nga, parang stylized type of toys, di ba? Na hindi na siya action figures. They're more of parang wala pa cute na display. Pero there's a whole lot of them. Kaya kokolektahin mo talaga lahat.
Basically, Marvel Universe,
Yes.
lahat ng characters halos nandun.
Right.
Ginagawa nila.
So they're really designed for a collector's market na talagang paramihan kayo. Parang ganun. Paramihan kayo ng collection. So this toy convention that we organized once a year, this is really parang it has grown from a small function room to almost the entire SMX convention center in Pasay, di ba? If you've been to the SMX, it's really the biggest convention center in Metro Manila, di ba? Napuno na namin yon. And we have all sorts of toys from the types that you see here in front of you to huge 22-foot tall statues of Batman. In the last convention that we had 2 weekends ago, we brought in the biggest Batman statue in Asia, I think, if not in the world.
Okay.
It was a 22-foot tall Batman statue, no. So ganyan na kalaki ang fascination ng mga tao sa mga laruan, at least here in the Philippines.
And I think it's also because of the boom of, superhero movies, di ba?
Right, of course.
Nung umpisa, mga nangongolect are the people who read the comics, di ba? But now, more people are acquainted with the characters because of, especially the Marvel movies, DC movies.
Right.
Yan, and tapos sinabayan pa nila ng production of new toys to go with it. So, I think part of the boom is because of that.
From a collector's perspective, bilang collector, syempre, ang hinahanap mo rin yung mga toys na medyo rare. And in collector's lingo, parang it's either a vintage piece, meaning luma siyang laruan. Ito yung mga 'di ba sinasabi nila, yung mga laruan na yan, para ang mamahal, 'di ba? Mahal na siya kunyari if you buy it from a store in the mall, 'di ba? Mahal na siya to start off. Pero if the older a toy gets and the better preserved it is, it actually becomes some sort of a 'di ba, a collector's item, 'di ba? Kasi hindi mo na mahanap yan it's a vintage piece. So kaming mga parang mga collectors, mga expert collectors, we go for those vintage pieces, or we go for the harder to find pieces in a particular, what do you call that, in a particular toy line. That's right. May mga iba dyan na parang rare because in a particular assortment of toys, kunyari sa isang box ng toys, isa lang yung meron nitong particular piece na to.
So kumbaga hindi siya same number yung produce for every piece.
Okay, and very limited number of.
Sinasadya nila na gano'n para yung figure na yun maging chase.
Yeah, yun yung tinatawag na chase figures. Kasi there's only one of them in an assortment of like 12 to 16 pieces in a box. Parang ganyan.
Okay.
So yung mga savvy na collectors, alam na nila na ito yung mga magiging chase na figures.
Yeah.
Or ito yung mga magiging error variants.
Actually, yun nga weird but at the same time interesting doon. Minsan pag nagkamali ng packaging error variant, mas nagmamahal pa kasi.
Mas nagmamahal.
Dahil may error, nag-iisa yun sa'yo na gano'n, di ba?
So it becomes a chase figure, tama
That's
ba?
right.
Yeah.
So you're not only toy collectors, sir, you're also chase collectors, tama ba?
I guess so. Hindi kasi nga, the more sophisticated a collector becomes, parang you also get some advanced information about a particular toy line. Like for example, one of the newest toy lines to be released is this one. Ewan ko kung nakikita nyo yung action figure na dala ni JC. This is based on the Overwatch video game, online game, di ba? So this is Reinhardt from the Overwatch line of toys. And this is actually the most expensive among all of the assortment of Overwatch figures. Bakit nga ba?
Wow.
So yun
Well, mas malaki kasi siya than the others.
Mas malaki siya.
As a character. And Well, right now, hindi pa ganun karami yung nagpapasok ng Overwatch Fixif. Just a few shops have brought it in. May mga usual na nagpapasok ng figures na hindi pa nagre-release. So, we don't know yet, but we're sort of predicting that since hindi pa siya as widespread as other toy lines,
Yes.
parang better to get it now. Ganun.
Okay.
Kasi I guess yung mga manufacturers nga nito mga toys na to, parang they also cater to the collector's market, not just to the toy enthusiasts na parang pag makakita ka ng particular toy like this Groot action figure, ayan, ang gandang tignan, di ba? So parang bibilin mo kaagad siya. Pero if you're a medyo savvy collector, iisipin mo, ito bang toy na to? Parang gaano karaming nagawa nito? Ano yung production run niya? Ano yung quality ng toy? Or how many points of articulation? Ayan.
Yeah.
Mga ganyan din ko
Actually, there are a lot of things to consider.
Katulad yan, ang articulation means nagagalaw mo yung parts. Okay.
Actually, may
Point of
tawag nga sila sa points of articulation. Halimbawa, ab crunch, yung character mo ba
nakaka-twist yung katawan
forward
sa
and
gitna.
back, ganyan.
Parang ganyan.
Okay.
So, at minsan, yan, siguro kanina na-mention ni Sir Cholo, di ba? May sealed, yung mga nakabox pa.
Nakabox pa.
Siyempre, nagmamahal yung figure pag matagal mong hindi binuksan. Bakit? Kasi na-preserve mo yung quality niya. Pag loose na yung items, kunyari ito na naka-open, tinitingnan ng mga tao. Meron naman kasing nangongolekta ng loose, may nangongolekta ng box, may nangongolekta ng kahit na ano. Okay? Pero pag kunyari, if you're a loose collector, ang tinitingnan mo sa figure is how tight the joints still are.
How tight the joints still
Siyempre,
are.
the more mo laruin at mahalin ang laruan, nagdi-decrease din siya in value.
Nagdi-depreciate yung value niya.
Yes.
So I guess parang nagfa-factor in na rin dun yung decision making ng collectors, di ba? Parang what will I start in terms of a collection? Will I start a loose collection, a sealed collection? Am I collecting for the sake of reselling? Am I collecting characters based on dahil gusto ko yung character na yon?
Right.
Kasi kanina may mention si Cholo na hinahabol ng collectors dahil magre-rare yan. Pero may mga, hindi, bibiling ko yung character kahit hindi pa rare yan dahil gusto ko yung character na yun. Kahit na 100,000, 1,000,000 pirasong Captain America dahil gusto ko si Captain America, bibiling ko siya as opposed to may mga characters na sobrang obscure, hindi kilala ng tao, pero dahil sa rarity niya, hinahabol naman ng ibang kolektor.
Right.
Parang case in point, when I was a Star Wars collector, yung mga syempre ang Star Wars pag maglabas ng action figure yan, sobrang maramihan, di ba? Pero there were certain pieces that were harder to find. Like for example, si Moff Tarkin, kilala mo si Grand Moff Tarkin, yung matandang lalaki sa Star Wars na parang admiral siya or something parang gano'n. Walang bumili masyado nun kasi sino ba naman bibili ng laruan ng matandang,
Sino siya?
di ba? Ng matandang lalaki. Only to find out a few months later na that was going to be one of the rarest toys that they would release. Ayan, kasi nga walang bumili, di ba? So nung naubos yung stock, hindi na sila nag-restock ulit. Naging rare yung figure. Yung mga ganyan ba? Or
actually,
ano ba yung
minsan
mga kwentong
situational
ganyan?
talaga siya. Ako, yung rarest figure na hawak ko na siguro for the Marvel
Yan,
Legends
ito
toy line.
Legend si JC in the community for having this particular toy.
Okay,
What is it?
it's a character from the Marvel Universe,
Four,
Fantastic Four, si Dragon Man. So a lot of people will say, huh?
Sana dala mo.
Sino si Dragon Man?
Pakita natin.
Hindi ko siya dinala precisely because I can't risk damage. Okay.
So that
Nasaan
is
siya ngayon?
sealed in the packaging, yung Dragon Man niya.
Naka-seal siya without dents, without creases, without yellowing nung plastic. Naka-acrylic case siya sa house at may sarili siyang cloth cover para di maarawan. I know it's bakit
That
siya
is a
naging
legendary
rare?
action figure because
Because it's unreleased.
it was never released
Ano,
to the market.
Basically, the company that made it, Toy Biz, di ba?
Toy Biz pa noon. Marvel Toy Biz.
They kind of went under.
Naging bankrupt.
Nag-bankrupt sila. They were unable to release that figure, and then
particular figure.
Hasbro entered the picture. Which Hasbro is one of the biggest toy companies now. Silang a lot like for example, this one is actually made by Hasbro.
Right.
This was still made by Toy Biz. Okay. So yun, they went under. hindi nila na-release yung figure. They had a few na
nalipat yung license ng Marvel
nalipat.
sa ibang toy company.
So hindi nila mabenta ngayon yung figures. Ano nangyari dun sa mga figures na yun tulad ni Dragon Man? Konti pa lang yung nagagawa nila. Stop production. May mga hindi pa sila nasisil. Kahit yung mga hindi nasil dahil lang sa one of a kind siya. Mahal yung benta. Pero the few na na-package, which somehow, one of which ended up in my hands.
Swerte rin.
Okay.
A while back. Quite a while back.
How, sir? Or pwede bang ikwento or hindi?
Paano
or
ko nakuha yun? Hindi, actually, interesting kwento siya in the sense na my friend was actually taking pictures of sneakers in a garage sale in the US.
Okay.
So sa US siya nahanap, hindi siya dito nahanap.
Okay.
Nagpipicture siya ng garage sale sa US, tapos parang kinikwento niya na parang, lupit ng sale dito for sneakers. May toys din sa background. Siyempre ako, dahil sa napapag-usapan ako ano yung rare na figures, nakita ko kagad yun sa likod. Tapos pinatanong ko, pakitanong naman kung for sale din yun at magkano. Hindi ko na sabihin kung magkano.
Sabihin natin.
Di ba?
Baka
Hindi, pero it wasn't bad.
pasukan kayo sa bahay.
It wasn't bad then. Di ba? It wasn't bad then. Parang, nung sinabi nga yung price.
Pero medyo mahal na nun.
Okay.
Oo, pero
Kasi nga, alam siguro ng may-ari na it's a rare piece,
Yeah.
unproduced.
Pero I mean for what it
Unreleased
was,
pala.
what is worth and the rarity. Sabi ko sa friend ko, if okay lang magpapadala ako, bilhin mo na, tapos pwede mong i-hand carry pauwi. Kasi nga hindi ko siya ma-risk na ma-dent and everything. Kaya nung nag-meet up nga kami, actually ito sa Toycon, nung nag-meet up kami ng friend ko from the US, binigay niya sa akin. Tapos di niya get, sabi niya, ano ba meron dyan? Tapos nung pagbukas ko, naglalakad ako sa aisle, lahat ng sellers nag-aalok na kagad sa akin ng presyo. Magkano mo binili, papatungan ko.
Ganun siya kahamulin.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now I consider it my
Grail.
grail and
The grail piece.
tsaka break glass in case of emergency.
Right.
God forbid that ever
Okay.
happens. Pero
Okay.
yun. I actually stopped collecting that particular toy line and sold most of those figures from that toy line except for my favorites.
Right.
Pero siguro why I was able to let go was because hawak ko pa siya eh. So at least I held on to that particular piece.
Right. So it's still with you, sir, that
Yeah,
rare
yeah.
toy. Okay.
Hindi ko pa siya ma-convince na i-dispose.
Although iniisip ko kung bibitawan ko siya at least dito na sa katabi ko, di ba?
Sige.
Matagal niya na. Matagal niya nang
Yan yung
inawitan.
tipong pearl of great price. Yan ang ganyang
Ni Sir JC.
laruan na yan.
Napaka-interesting po, no? Actually, yung sobrang na-amaze ako is you have this market of collectors, no? And you have an eye. Okay, you have an eye for the toys, no? Tapos parang alam nyo kung ano yung rare. Tapos katulad noon, pumasok si Sir JC dun sa Toycon and then people were catching him, no? Parang akin na yung toy mo, ganyan. Because people know, no? Parang alam ng mga tao.
yeah.
So how do people know, sir?
Actually, kasi, yun nga, tulad ng sabi ni Cholo, di ba? There are communities eh. We
Yeah,
have,
communities.
yung Pinoy Toy Collectors, for example, meron silang, which we're part of, may mga group chat yan, nag-uusap-usap yung mga tao. The toy companies usually nagti-teaser photos yan ng mga i-release nila. So people start speculating, habulin to, habulin yan. Minsan may demand because of how popular a figure is.
Yeah.
Pero minsan pupusta ka dun sa, ito hindi to masyado kilala, malamang konti lang gagawin. Equals, mas malaki yung chance na maging rare siya. So the discussions, the forums, it's really a big community. It's a community thing, I think. That's why people know. It's because people talk.
Right.
Pero I guess one of the things that has always guided me by way of these things, these collections, is to collect talaga what you like, di ba? Collect the things that you love. Recently, nagkaroon ng panibagong trend. Itong mga Funko Pops na to, if you go to Green Hills on any weekend, you will see people with bags, carrying bags of these things, of the Funko Pop, di ba? At ano tawag dito? Parang sari-saring tao na eh.
Yeah.
So there used to be a time na ito, when they were being sold in Toy Kingdom, for example, ang SRP nito before, I think, was something like $3.99. Parang ganun. When it first came out in 2013, walang pumapansin dito. Walang pumapansin dun sa Funko Pop shelf sa Toy Kingdom. Parang inisip ko sa, ano yan? Parang wala ka naman magagawa dyan, di ba? Ilalabas mo lang sa box.
Doesn't even move.
Di ba? So, nag-flop yun. The first time the Funko Pop was released in the market here in the Philippines, mga around 2013, 2012, 2013. Walang pumansin. Until, I remember, isang Christmas toy con natin, I think 2013, we were auctioning these things off for like 300 pesos.
Yep.
Kung sino na lang, di ba?
I bought a few.
Tapos yung entire stock ng Toy Kingdom, binenta nila sa Clipper. Naalala ko yon sa Clipper na...
Clipper na store.
Di ba na store? Na, di ba? It's not even a toy store, di ba? Para siyang novelty, di ba? Toy, parang store lang siya. So I started buying yung mga ang tawag dito, and they were selling it at like parang 300 pesos, 150,
250 nga eh.
250. So may mga nabili ako doon, mga Toy Story na Funko Pop back in 2015. Kasi parang nakyutan na ako eh. I started buying things. Those Toy Story Pops, eventually I got to sell them. I remember mga 2017, dinisplay ko siya sa Toycon. They were buying it. Yung mga Toy Story Pops ko were averaging 1,500 to 3,000. May isang yung Zurg, Emperor Zurg na Funko Pop. Somebody bought it from me for 5,000 pesos.
Wow. Yeah.
So, no-brainer. Binili ko 300 pesos, binenta ko 5,000. Kasi nga, nag-boom ito. This particular toy line in particular, nag-boom ito around 2015, 2016
Yeah.
when people started seeing the value of it as a collectible. And then of course, they started looking for the earliest run of figures, which were, eto bagong term na naman to, they were vaulted. Ang ibig sabihin ng Vinault, pag Vinault mo, VAULT, ang isang Funko Pop action figure, it will never be produced again. So maraming, doon sa original line, and these were like Elvis, mga Kiss,
Tigger,
mga early Marvel figures, mga early Star Wars figures
May Winnie the Pooh din.
yung mga ganun. Disney, maraming Disney na Vinault.
Yes.
So people started looking for these. Tapos umakyat yung price kasi yung demand lumaki, hindi na siya pinoproduce.
Hindi na siya gagawin ulit.
Ayan. So I was selling those figures for an average of like 2,000 to 3,000 per piece. Na binili ko na on sale, 300 pesos talagang.
Actually, meron
Diba?
akong ganyan na kwento. Kasi, yung Funko Pop, yan yung naging entry point ko before para mag-collect din yung wife ko. Para mas madali rin ako mag-collect. Okay. And I remember yung toy ko na sinasabi mo na nag-sale lahat yan.
Nag-sale lahat yung mga Funko Pops.
So, namili kami ng mga Funko Pop like si Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. Nabili ko ng 300 something for my wife eh. Okay. So, nasa collection namin yun. Back then, di pa kami kasal. So, when we started saving up for our wedding, I started letting go of a lot of my figures to save up for the wedding. Siya rin, nagbitaw rin siya ng Funko Pop. So we started selling the figures. Hindi kami masyadong privy dun sa magkano ba yung value ng pop. Mas expertise ni Sir Cholo yun. Monte ko ibenta si Tigger ng 500 pesos. Naalala mo ba yun? Yung duman ako sa office mo. Tapos bigla niya akong, wait lang, sandali lang bumibenta ng 500 yan. Sinearch namin siya online, tapos 8,000 pesos na pala yung Tigger. From 300 pesos. May mga ganong kwento.
Ayan. So, yun. And that really stemmed, this particular collection of mine, itong line of Funko Pop toys, it really just stemmed from the fact na, I liked it, so I started collecting it very early on. I think that's key na parang you're one of the first few to collect a particular toy line, and then, di ba, just let it, stay for a while. Eto, nakapunta na si JC sa bahay ko. Nakikita niya yung mga kahon ko sa bahay na I've never opened my toys. I'm a mint and box collector ako eh. I don't open my toys, which is not advisable if you are going to start out a collection. Oo. So ako, as soon as I buy it, I put it in a box and I don't see it ever again until such time na I feel like displaying it. Parang ganyan. So, yeah. So yun nga, I started by collecting something that I liked, and then, it eventually, ngayon, ang Funko Pop is a masa toy. Marami na talagang nangongolekta ng Funko Pop.
I think a big part of that is because a lot of the people who buy the Funko Pops, they go for the characters that they like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kaya siya mas masa in terms of yung number ng tao na nangongolekt is because pwedeng hindi ka toy collector pero gusto ko tong character na to, tas ang cute niyan, di ba? May ganun siya.
Yeah.
Nauso rin yung nag-gift ng Funko Pop na kamukha ng person, nagpapakustomize sila sa mga tao.
Yeah.
Yan. So, tulad nito, custom work siya, di ba? Parang gusto ko yung character na Darna pero wala pang existing figure, nagpapagawa sila sa customizer.
Yeah.
So, and then there are of course the completists na naghahabol ng every single piece of a particular line or meron pang as completist as basta lahat ng Funko kailangan ma-check.
Completist.
Oo, yan. Sabihin, every single
Release.
item produced of a particular character.
Right.
Kunyari, isa kang, ano ba yung mga ganun? Just recently, ayan, si Cap, kasi si JC Capuno siya, ang kanyang collection ay puro Captain America, di ba? So, at one point in his toy collection, he had all of the Captain America toys that he could find, you know.
I still do.
You still do. Tama,
Meaning,
tama.
I released,
Toy lines?
I sold a lot of my other stuff.
different
I sold
toy
a lot of my
lines,
other stuff, pero lahat ng Captain
America, you retain.
Iniwan niya. Oo.
So, si Sir JC is Captain America, most of his collection. Sir, what about yours?
I wish I could say I'm just focusing on one particular line, pero hindi eh. Kasi nga, I'm really into different fandoms. Ika nga, di ba? I like Star Wars, I like Transformers, I like Marvel or DC. So medyo assorted yung aking collection. But I've really tried to stick to just the superheroes kasi yan naman ang kinalakihan ko eh. The superhero toys, whether Marvel or DC. Parang yan. But I have all sorts of toy lines. But now, baka later on, I'd like to share na if you want some insider information on what I think will be the next boom in terms of toys, gusto niyo na ba malaman? You went to ToyCon, di ba?
Yeah.
You were there last time. Parang people are slowly getting into designer toys. Sayang wala lang ako example, but maybe the closest example would be ito nga mga mugs. Kasi nga, these are not traditionally toys kasi nga you can't do anything with it, di ba? Pero there is a whole parang subculture of toys now na they don't look at their toys as things to play with but actually as art pieces. So just recently in our last ToyCon, we invited a group of international toy designers from different countries, from Singapore, mostly from Thailand, Korea. We had somebody from the UK, someone from New Zealand, and they are all very respected toy designers, but they actually see themselves as artists. So the canvas of their art is really a toy. So what they do is they design a particular mold of a toy. Sayang di ko nadala yung yung isang example na merong isang artist doon. Her name is Jessica Emmett, and she's a UK citizen but based in Singapore, and she makes a particular mold of unicorns. So parang unicorn yung toy niya, and then so isa lang yung mold ng unicorn. Makita mo, it's the same sculpture, pero she hand paints each and every one of them in different ways. So yun yung art niya. She paints on a particular mold. Tapos I bought one in particular kasi it was one of one, meaning it's the only one in existence of a particular design which was something that she designed particularly for the Philippine ToyCon. Ang tawag niya halo-halo unicorn. So ang paint application is the halo-halo yung drink. Yung dessert na halo-halo. So painted siya looking like a halo-halo dessert, and she only made one of a particular size, and I bought that. I am not ashamed to say I bought that for 7,000 pesos kasi art siya eh, hindi na siya laruan. And as soon as I bought that, ang dami kong offers to buy it from me for double the price kasi nga parang iba na yung ngayon, iba na. It's the only one in existence, pero parang, and it's also art. Parang feeling ko doon patungo ang toys ngayon. Parang they are becoming expressions of art. One of our guests also this year is a very well-known street artist. His name is Ron English. He's based in the US, and people have started collecting his toys also because he customizes it to look like his street art. Right. So what can you imagine, like street art, yung parang installation, a big wall na ang ganda ng artwork, tapos i-translate mo yan into a 3D figure. So ano siya, it's very it becomes more like an art market now than a toy collector's market. So feeling ko yan ang direction ng toys. So people are buying stuff as small as this for like 3,000 pesos, 4,000 pesos. Ganito lang siya kaliit pero unique yung design. So these are what we call the designer art toys. So watch out for that.
Yes.
There are a few of those that are cropping out already sa Green Hills, parang ganyan. Right. But mostly in hobby shops.
So I guess dami natutunan ng ating ng ating listeners and viewers about the technical
Ba't
side
di naman
of
natin
collecting
yung iba?
toys. Yes, of course, sir.
Nakikinig sa
Actually
atin.
meron pang
collector dito on
yes. Right.
Si Joanne nakikinig. Joanne Arceo. Hi, Joanne.
Hi,
Ito
Jo.
ang topic natin.
Yes. Actually, sir, okay lang. Can we have a few more questions? Let's
Sure.
talk about
Oo nga.
a little more on the personal side naman po.
Yeah.
So as you already talked about, that you are very passionate about collecting all of these toys. So how does this affect, for example, your personal life or your family life, for example? Does it even affect it at all, or okay?
Well, ako, for starters, I think why I actually got into toy collecting, other than the fact that I enjoy the figures, tapos I was always into comics, a big part of what keeps me active in the community is the community itself. I made a lot of friends through toy collecting. Yung barkada ko from high school were into figures. In fact, one of them now is really into customization.
Customization.
Tapos, I actually customize also. So parang we parang send each other pictures of our work. Kunyari. Yun, sina Sir Cholo and the other, magugulat ka, ang daming administrators and professionals and formators and faculty here on campus who actually collect. Tapos, yun, people I didn't know before, but because of toy deals, they become friends of yours na minsan nasa toy con ako, wala na akong binibili. Pero gusto ko lang tumambay kasi marami ka nakakausap na ibang tao. So yun, definitely the friendships that were formed through the shared hobby. My wife and I actually sobrang nag-bond kami through toys. Nung time na dating pa kami, in-influencean ko sinama ko siya sa toy con, and she started her own little collection, and she was one of those people who really appreciated mine as well. To the point na nung time na nag-decide ako to let go of a big chunk, siguro around 80% of my toy collection to save up for the wedding, isa sa mga umaawat sa akin.
Pag may benefit.
Her and my parents, sila yung umaawat. Funny thing is, my folks at first, they were like, ano ba yan? Bakit bili ka ng bili na kung ano-ano? Ganun yung comments ng parents ko at first.
Right.
But as it started growing and yun, my room started looking like the Marvel universe, they started appreciating it to the point that whenever they bring guests to the house, papasok na nila sa kwarto ko para, tingnan niyo yung collection ng anak ko, ganyan sila magkwento. Tapos nung time na nagsisimula na ako magbenta for the wedding, tapos umuunti-unti na yung laman ng kwarto ko, sila para silang nasasad. Na parang nasa na yung ano, ganyan. Banggitin nila, di ba meron ka dating nakatayo dito? Binenta ko. Ba't mo binenta? Ganun, meron silang panghinayang. But yun, I think for a lot of us, parang it became a shared passion.
Yes.
Family and as well as my wife. And sa kanya parang testament ko na yun ng love ko for her, di ba? Na parang I was willing to let that go. Although, yung joke ko sa kanya na medyo hindi lang half it, totally meant. Para ako nakipag-break up, promise, nung binenta ko yung mga laruan ko. Ganun yung feeling. Yung when I was packing them and cleaning them and preparing them to go to another house. Parang Toy Story lang, di ba? Passing on to another collector, ganyan. But yun, I think a big part of it is the people fostering relationships, really.
Nice.
Parang if toy collecting was a solo thing, I don't think there'd be any joy in it.
Yeah.
How about you, Sir Cholo?
Well, actually, similar kami naman ni JC. I guess ako, I started out this hobby lang talaga siya, di ba? As something to feel my own tawag dito, my own personal di ba? I started out with a room, na parang I wanted to fill my room with things that I enjoy from my childhood, di ba? So I have pictures of myself nung single pa ako back in the 90s na puno-puno yung room ko ng mga Star Wars toys. So it was really parang a personal passion for me to get into collecting. And then when I started my family, of course dapat mag-reprioritize ng konti. But I found out na parang mas umigting pa sa akin yung yung passion ko to collect. So I kept on doing it. Parang kaya nga marami nagtatanong sa akin na parang hindi ba ano yan? Parang magastos na hobby. Yes, magastos siya. And ano ba, parang you just have to find a way to balance really the yung expenses for necessities for the family and paying the bills and all of that, and also keeping up with this collection, diba? But I found I could strike that balance and actually make this particular hobby like a business of sort, diba?
Yeah,
So pero more than just the buy and sell aspect of it, I was fortunate to found nga this convention, yung ToyCon back in the early 2000s, na we realized na it could become some sort of a lucrative endeavor to get people together, for them to actually invest in renting a space for them to sell their toys, and then eventually as it grew, this ToyCon became a real passion project for us to become some sort of a showcase then for the Philippines. So parang in a strange way, it became for us some form of nation building. Na parang we just recently crafted a mission to our toy convention na ang sinabi namin, we want to showcase really the Filipino creativity, ingenuity, innovation, by showcasing, parang using the ToyCon as more than just a place, more than just a marketplace of toys, pero it becomes really a community where people can share their passion, can find kumbaga a particular community that they can fit in, can find belongingness and eventually joy. Diba? So, yun yung naging ano namin, parang if it's something that brings joy to the community and to the nation in general, kasi we started marketing it also to the international audiences. So, nakikita nila na, ganito pala yung fans sa Philippines. Parang iba yung ibang klase yung ano nila, yung passion nila, enthusiasm nila, exactly to collect and have this sort of hobby. So, it became some sort of a statement for us to say that we put on kumbaga the biggest fan event when it comes to ito. You can see the best toys, but for us it was more of a playground. That's what we see. That's what we saw, at least, na parang ToyCon has become a playground in Asia for people to come and to assemble and to diba to find the toys that they want, but at the same time share their common experiences also of collecting.
Actually,
strangely,
I'd say nga na it's turned into an event that people really look forward to. For example, ako at saka wife ko, yearly na yan, naka-plug na yan. Sir Cholo, kailan ang ToyCon? Naka-calendar na yan sa amin. And it's a family thing. It's a family event. You see talaga people of all ages. Tapos lahat sila may kanya-kanya silang the moms and the little kids buy their own stuff. The dads go collect their own stuff. Parang ano siya, it really brings people together. Na-mention ni Sir Cholo, oo, mahal siya, but I think you can, like he said, diba, you can be smart about it and responsible about it also, diba? Finding ways for your collection to fund itself, diba? Parang, may moments kailangan mo mag-let go to make way for space and at the same time budget for another figure and so on and so forth. Yun, I think parang it enables you to keep going also.
Right. Ang galing lang now how toy collecting has become part of your lives in so many ways, and parang nag-spill over na siya into your, of course it's your personal passion, but it spilled over in terms of your relationships, no, until it became a passion project, no, that became your own parang contribution to nation building. So ang galing, no, parang so ako nakikinig rin ako sa mga kwento niyo po, no, so parang nagkakaroon rin ako ng paradigm shift, no, parang nag-reframing o parang how I see toys toys, no?
Bibili na siya,
Hey, gagawin natin collector si Martin.
And nabanggit ni Sir JC kanina, no, it's not just for kids, no? It's really for it's people of all ages, no? So, parang kayo po, no, as very passionate people for toys, should people or kids who get into toy collecting or should not get into it, no? What's your 2 cents on that? On people na nag-iisip na, should I collect or should I not? Or parang, what's your...
I think parang the central idea to any passion, any sort of thing that you're passionate about is really what fills you with joy, di ba? Ayan, very Marie Kondo, di ba? What will fill your life with joy? Ako, I found my joy in collecting these inanimate objects. Pero we found out, and this is something that we also very consciously tried to provide a venue for sa Toycon namin, na iba-iba yung hilig ng mga tao, especially when it comes to their ideas of play. So we started putting in board games. We started putting in digital gaming, content generation. So yung mga, di ba, mahilig ng mga tao ngayon, yung gumagawa sila ng mga video blogs or vlogs, ika nga, di ba? So we set up Toycon in such a way na it could become really a venue for them to produce their own content.
Yeah.
So the idea was really a playground, a place where people can come together. Nobody will discriminate against you if you are a collector of this or that, or if you just want to go there to take pictures, if you want to go there to cosplay, di ba? Yung mga mahilig maggumawa ng mga costume. Basta pag nandun, kumbaga, walang basagan ng trip kung ano yung hilig mo talaga na lalaruin mo, because you are in a community, you belong to a community na you all have your own passions, and we all respect each other for whatever gives us joy. And that was really for us the central idea, di ba? To create joy, di ba, for people. So para sa akin, if you ask me if I would encourage somebody to start a collection of toys, if that's really what what they're interested in, and they can find some value in it, if it gives you joy in seeing these things, di ba, these things na they don't really move, hindi naman to Toy Story na parang, well, di natin alam, di ba? Itong group ko,
minsan feeling ko gumagalaw
iniiwan ko to sa office, di ba? Iniiwan ko to sa office.
They have a life of their
minsan
own.
nagbabago siya ng post, di ko alam kung naglalaro sa office or ayan. Pero anyway, yun. I would encourage people to find what gives them joy in their life and to really just pursue that.
Right.
Ako naman ay parang syempre ako as someone who's been collecting over the years after being influenced, di ba? Parang marami akong masasabi na good things that came from it. Marami rin ako masasabing potentially problematic things about it, di ba? Kasi it can become an addiction, di ba? Parang bili ka ng bili pero wala ka palang budget for it, or baka meron ka dapat ibang paglaanan ng budget mo for it. But I think it can also potentially teach you responsibility, teach you how to properly manage not just your finances but pretty much your time, your relationships, everything. At the core of it, I agree with Cholo. It's what brings you joy. But also at the same time, parang what you will do in pursuit of that joy, di ba? Parang will it be at the expense of other people? Will it be at the expense of your responsibilities and all that? Parang I think it's really just finding the proper balance of being able to do something that you like, throwing your passions in there, and at the same time, parang being responsible about it.
Right? Yeah, to be responsible, parang strike a balance, no, whether you parang how much you spend on things, and really the central idea, sabi ni Sir Cholo, is what gives you joy, no? If it gives you joy, then probably it's something that you could go into, no, and share, no, and it could not necessarily be toys, so you could be collecting other things, no, such as books or such as other items,
records.
no?
Actually,
records, CDs.
Ang dami namang collector sa mundo, di ba? Nag-iba-iba lang yung manifestation niya.
Right.
But I think it's that. Nabanggit niyo yung Marie Kondo and the joy concept, di ba? Tapos parang kanina while walking here, nagkwentuhan kami ni Martin about it. Tapos I was telling him, alala ko yung moment na nag-decide ako to let go, and I think this was part of yung whole, sige, there's a time to let go of certain things for greater things, tulad nga nung when I was saving up for my wedding. And siguro naging difficulty ko, sabi ko, if I try to do the Maricondo thing na parang, does this strike joy? Wala akong bibitaw. Lahat na lang sa kwarto mo.
May memory ka sa bawat isang item, eh.
Oo, eh. Naalala ko per item, sinong ka-meet up ko, magkano ko siya binili, anong ginagawa ko nung weekend na yun.
You have a memory,
Some of these have funny stories too. Like parang paano ko siya nahanap. Yung tipo
Kami ni JC before, nagdi-divisoria pa kami.
Sabay kami,
Nagto-toy hunting kami ng mga maliliit.
Superhero Squad, di ba?
Nice.
And who you're with while buying, searching for these toys. Tapos, looking out for your bros in the community. Kunyari, alam ko nakongolekta si Cholo nito, may hinahanap siya. Ako, nagsiscroll ako randomly, nakita ko, tatag ko siya, sir, nahanap ko yung hinahanap mo and vice versa. So, we try to find the best deals for one another, ganyan. So, may ganun siyang concept
the community is.
Hindi siya patalbugan ng kung anong meron ka. Meron syempre yung mga ganong tao. Pero I think at the end of the day, it's an appreciation of parang what people have and what people can share.
So appreciation, no, also finding the joy, no, in your collection. Since we're talking already about joy, na paulit siya lumalabas sa and passion, joy. Siguro to push the envelope further, no, because we're talking about parang spirituality also, no, in this show, no. So kayo po in your collection, in your hobby, in your in the toys that you own, where do you find God there? No, or could he be found there?
Well, very clearly, he put me on a particular path na parang he gave me some sort of a calling na, you can make this particular hobby of yours something which a lot more people can enjoy much more than you on your own. So he gave me a venue to actually create a space for people, which is really the Toy-Con. No? I find for me now it has become some sort of a vocation.
Nice.
I grow this thing and make sure that every year when we conceptualize how the Toy-Con should be, it should be to be more inclusive, to bring in more people, to unite people in their passions, and to make it parang a safe space for geeks like us, di ba?
Right.
Kasi before, outcasts sa mga nerds, sa mga geeks, pero now we're more mainstream. But people still look for that safe space. If they cannot find it in their homes or in their schools or in their communities, they will find it in a place like Toy-Con, where people accept each other for our differences, for our variety. So it has become some sort of a calling for me, and this is where I find God in it. Kahit na at its worst, it really is a very hectic event to organize and all of that. But parang when I silence myself in the middle of all of everything that is happening in the toy convention, in the middle of SMX, I silence myself and say, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you for giving me this," because it is parang one way which I feel I contribute to providing joy to my fellow men through this toy convention.
Galing, no? Weird. Sir JC?
Ako naman, I think yun, paulit-ulit kasi yun talaga, yung joy, the joy that you feel. Whenever I parang set my eye on buying this particular figure, inasam-asam mo and then finally nakuha mo siya, pag linalaro mo or tinitingnan mo lang sa display mo, nandun yung feeling na yun. Pero it's not just a joy that's personal and deep, but it's also something that you share with other people. Tapos tingin ko self-care din siya. Alam mo yung many moments na
True.
Seryoso, pag sobrang stressed sa work or stressed with anything else, even personal problems, sometimes I find myself just going to my room, turning on the lights sa cabinet and just staring at them for a while. Then I feel better after a bit. Diba? Parang, in fact, if you remember, there was a time na yung collection ko was still in the office. Pag nasi-stress ka sa area mo, biglang pupunta sa akin, tabi muna ako sa'yo, tapos itinala naman yung collection.
That's
cute.
Tama ka. The wellness aspect is also very important.
And the students who would pass by, nagkaroon ako ng several instances na estudyante na parang lost in thought, tapos biglang makikita yung collection, tapos makikipag-usap sa'yo randomly. Diba? So, tapos I also think, na-mention na namin siya kanina, the companionship, the community, the friendships, diba? A big part of why parang, di ba nga si Jesus and the disciples, they would share a meal together and it would form relationships. ito naman in the form of non-edible things, di ba? Pero parang it's still the concept of sharing and being with
Community
the gift
forming.
of presence. Yan. So, the gift of conversation. So, I think a large part of it is the wellness, the joy that's shared with other people. So,
Right.
tsaka at the end of the day, parang overwhelming gratitude, di ba? Parang blessing na
Blessings.
na fortunate ako to be able to have these things, di ba? Fortunate din ako to be able to share this with other people.
Right.
Yun.
Galing, no? So, dami nating tutunan, no? And for me, very interesting how you can find God in toys, no? In your collection, no? And it's not just about your own personal collection, but it spills over to your relationships until to even to your different communities, no? Parang it's not just about yourself, but it's also about other people also, and the joy that comes from it is also being shared to other people. So I think, no, God is really present there, because how could He not, diba? Parang we could think of toys as gifts, no, and sabi nga natin, no, where the gift is, the giver is not far off, no. So we can parang really definitely see God parang in this kind of passion, no, by looking at the fruits, no, that come out of it, such as joy, community, acceptance, no, self-care also, no, safe space, no, creating safe spaces for people through toys, no. So parang very, very interesting. So for me, very personally, very enlightening po itong episode na to. So thank you, no, thank you very much, Sir Cholo and Sir JC, for sharing with us, no, your passions. So baka meron na kayong buyer mga mamaya. Baka meron na kayong mga buyer.
Wala pa.
Anyway, so baka marami kayo na influence and na inspire also because of your sharing this afternoon. Salamat po.
Thank you.
So batiin lang po natin siguro ang ating mga commenters, no, sa ating Facebook live stream. Si Miss Jen, good afternoon po.
Hello, Jen.
Hello, Miss Jen. Of course, si Sir Lester, no, good afternoon, sir. Si Jo. Hi, Jo. Of course.
Sana si Jo ngayon?
Nasa JVP na po siya.
Ay,
JVP
wow.
office, yes. Si Miss Jen, how much is your investment on these collectibles?
Nako,
Sige,
wag mo nang alamin. Huwag na natin
mag-usap na lang po
alamin.
tayo, Ma'am Jen, mamaya.
Don't worry, I'll get you started on a collection. Lagot ka.
Miss Pauline Persil, hello
Hi,
po.
Pao. That's Pao Persil of the UCPRO.
Oh, hello
office.
po,
Hello.
ma'am. Justin Pontino, cute.
Ay, yes, Justin.
Ayan, si Sir Justin. Hello. All right, no. So we hope you learned, no, a lot of things from our episode today, and not just not just about toys, no, but how also God can be very much present.
Uy, pwede bang plug na
Yes,
isang
sir.
event? Ito medyo malayo pa, pero bigla ko lang naisip na our Christmas Toy-Con, or the Toy Fair that we call it, it happens December 13 to 15. Medyo malayo pa, pero this early on, I'd like to plug it kasi this is an opportunity for the different toy communities, and if you want to become a collector yourself, to medyo contribute and give back naman. Kasi we make the Christmas Toy Fair an occasion wherein people can donate toys, and we give this to the Philippine Toy Library, diba? That's one of our partners na which has need talaga of these different toys, diba, for their different centers all around the Philippines. We also give it to certain orphanages. Tapos we also do a toy drive wherein nag-auction kami ng mga ibang
nag-auctioneer na ako several times.
nag-auction na si Sir JC ng kanyang mga toys. Tapos whatever money we accumulate, binibigay din namin to our charities during this Christmas event. So medyo matagal pa, pero that's something to look forward
Para
to.
lahat ng tao masaya pagpasok.
Ayan,
Okay.
sa Mega Trade Halls, that's where we hold it. So this year it will be on December 13 to 15.
Okay. Other dates to look forward to. Is it just a Christmas toy concert, or
Sa Saturday, Ginintuan. Yay, plug natin. Oo nga.
Okay.
50 years of Jesuit music. Oy, manood kayo kasi nandito kakanta ang Bukas Palad Music Ministry. Ayan, kasama ako dyan.
Yes, of course.
Hangad, Himig Eswita, at Tinig Barangka, Pansol Choir, Between Escalante, Lara Maige, Father Manuling, Francisco, Noel Cabangon, and His Eminence, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle.
Nice,
Kakanta rin siya.
nice.
So
Oh,
yan, Ginintuan sa this Saturday, 3 p.m. for the matinee show and 7 p.m. for the gala Gala Show. Tickets at 426-5971, local 113, or 0908-886-8447. Or available at the gates.
Yes, so July 13 Ginintuan and December 13 to 15 for the Christmas Toy Fair. Okay, sige. So we hope you've had a very enlightening afternoon because of this episode. We hope you learned about toys. We hope you have a renewed or you were refreshed in your appreciation of toys, no? And also how God can also be very much present in this kind of collection and endeavor as well. Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Cholo and Sir JC, for sharing with us, no? This has been another episode of Campus Ministers on Air. This is Martin, and this has been CM on Air signing out.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin mista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, punong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiting at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay ating mista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white,